Hi, my name is Nina England, and I'm going to give you my introduction. And why I chose to pursue a degree in student affairs and leadership is because I had such a tremendous experience in going to college and having people that were so supportive around me, people that had no idea who I was, and walking onto a campus feeling like I had a huge support group and a web of people that wanted me to be successful and really took an interest in me and helped me to get through college, and then being able to still network and talk with those people later on in life. It's just an amazing thing, and I hope to be able to pass that on to students as they take on college and this whole new adulthood that all of a sudden you are finding yourself flung into when you're still transitioning from adolescence. And that's kind of how I would start with my definition of student affairs. It's that helping students to bridge from adolescence to adulthood by offering resources and support across physical and psychological needs of each individual, and just creating an endless web of support to help navigate through the college system and then on into professional life. Some of the attributes that I would associate with this profession definitely would be a willingness to help others to become successful adults, and really that inner strength of becoming your own advocate. And you might have come from a lot of hand holding before in the past, and here you are in college, and it's all about you and how are we going to get you to that next step. And I think helping students with issues like social justice, not only for themselves, but to realize that others different than them and just being thoughtful of backgrounds and realizing that you might come from a completely different place than the person sitting in the chair next to you or living down the hall from you. So really teaching that social justice piece and how everyone should be treated equal and fairly, no matter their race, religion, creed, however you want to put it, in order to become more successful in life and be ready for that real world. And lastly, I just think an attribute of the profession too is just making the most of the college experience for students involved to help them become positive contributors to society. And I think that's really where a lot of that lies, is getting students from point A to point B and helping to be a vehicle for success for them. As far as being an insider in the field, I would look back at my experiences while I was in college, and like I said before, just getting to know the people that are in student affairs as you are a student there, and I have great relationships with people that, college was, I'm not going to say how many years ago for me, but a while ago, but knowing that I can count on them for things. I really got involved in a lot of student activities on campus, from intramural teams to being the president of a student athlete advisory committee, and those were things that really helped me to get kind of an inside look of some of the advisors that I have, really sitting down with me and saying, here's what I do, here's what I can do for you, let's work together. I worked in the leadership center a lot on our campus and in the residence halls at the front desk. And it really, reflecting on it now, like I looked at how much I respected and had admiration for all of these people that I would work with through student affairs, and never really thought, oh my gosh, this could be a career, this could be something that I could actually do. And then it was probably about a year ago that I decided that I really wanted to pursue that, and thought, wow, what a great field to look into, and how many life-changing events can you be a part of for people at a campus. And so that's got me super psyched about looking at careers that I could make an impact on people. So with that along, some of the things that I've done in my background, both professionally and personally, I think will help me to work in student affairs and to further my reaching higher, I guess you could say, in student affairs and becoming a leader. I've worked with grades 5 through 12 with the Get Ready program as a professional, and we reach out and do a lot of curriculum and advising on college readiness and college access. And then also planning events with families and taking field trips to different colleges. So really trying to get that early access piece and getting kids that are in elementary, middle, and high school to a college campus, and then having that interaction with college students there. So I work for the Get Ready program, which is funded through the Gear Up grant in collaboration with the Minnesota Office of Higher Education. We service many first-generation college students, many students that are new to the country and they're here for education, and so we want to make sure that they get the most bang for their buck and for their travels, and their families bringing them here for that main goal of getting them a good education. Also, a lot of that professional work that I've been doing with Get Ready is really helping kids realize those barriers and those myths about college and getting them to work through them. And so that has fallen into, as of this past year, I started supervising after working with the program for 6 years in the schools. I'm now supervising Minneapolis and Brooklyn Center staff that are doing the same thing that I have did for the last 6 years. And so getting to really work with people and open up networking, and as well as getting to pass on some of those things that I found worked well to staff, and having the respect from staff from having been in the field. And I think too, getting that professional experience of really getting to network not only regionally but nationwide for college access. And I would think on more of a personal level, kind of going back to that, this work with others that I did in student affairs when I was a student, and just getting to have those relationships with the staff. Specifically, I had an advisor as the president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee that I would meet with really regularly. And I look at her as very much of a mentor, and somebody that I could be very candid with and ask questions to, and I still communicate with her today. And like I said, I think just those close relationships with those people on campus that were in student affairs, and just being a really involved student, as well as keeping myself busy in college and staying out of trouble, because that's kind of what I came from in high school, and that was a comfort of always staying busy and always being involved in things, and that really helping to ultimately keep me more organized than I would have been without some of that guidance from different programming and organizations, and playing a varsity sport in college, and just all of those things wrapped into one. And I think from that personal experience that I had, and how great college was, not only on the academic end, but on everything else that academics don't provide, from just the social aspects in life to that, oh my gosh, I really need help and I need some support. Where do I go? Who do I turn to? To be able to pass those same experiences on to other students, I think is something that I just want to be able to do and say, hey, this is what got me through college. This is what kept me here, because there were times that it was tough. And I think to be able to say, I got through and I made it, so can you. Here's some things that I did, that I tried. Gives you that respect, gives you that credibility with students. And where would I like to be with this degree after finishing this program in 5 to 15 years? That's a good question. Where does everybody want to be? I think as far as a functional area, I think that there are so many things that are offered through LSA that I don't know. I think that for right now, I can see a focus being on academic advising, especially with first-generation students. I just think that that's where my comfort level lies right now, having worked with those same students in grades 5 through 12 so far, and really getting to bridge that gap to, okay, we've helped you and we've guided you and we've helped you become an advocate for yourself through high school. Now what's it like when we get you to college? Not the whole, I'm going to dump you off here and hope that you're successful, but more of that, hey, how can I help you to navigate this? And I think so working in that academic advising piece, getting them on the right track, and really through some first year experiences and really working on retention for students is where I would like to see this degree take me. The type of institution, I am very curious about working at a 2-year institution for the fact that a lot of the students that I have worked with prior just navigating and seeing where they all end up going. It primarily tends to be two-year institutions, and I know that two-year institutions do not have as high of a retention rate. And I would really like to change that. And I realize that there's a definite challenge, maybe more so than a four-year school of working in LSA, because of the fact that you do have such quick changeover. But I would really like to make a mark there and start to do programming and things that are reaching out to those students, meeting them where they're at, developmentally, physically, psychologically, where they need to bridge those gaps to get them to stay past that first year and onto that second year, and whether that means graduating with your AA degree or pursuing then more education at a four-year. I really just think that there is a need for that, and that's somewhere that I see as a challenging area, but also an area that I feel that I would feel very comfortable working with. And what do I hope to learn from this class? I think a lot of it is how to foster environments that students can feel safe and comfortable and thrive in while they're in college, and thinking about really, for myself, how to be seen as a leader and to make my voice heard in that campus setting is kind of being a newcomer coming in, but really knowing that I'm bringing some background knowledge and obviously the things that I'm learning through the program to really help shine through in creating successful and inclusive programming aimed at student success. And I really feel that this class really starts to hit on that, and starting to thinking about where did student affairs come from, where do we want to go, and I'm hoping to gain that knowledge through these next couple months, and just starting to learn about student affairs more in depth. And I think too, this class, learning how to really network and meet people that are also in student affairs, from practitioners, to gain firsthand experience about their knowledge and what some other possible careers in the field can look like that I maybe haven't even thought about yet or haven't crossed my mind. So I'm hoping to get a lot out of this class, and I think for me this is really an eye-opener of all the things and all the careers, I guess. I shouldn't just say things, let's be more specific, of all the careers that are available through LSA, and just the definite need for student affairs to be a part of a college experience, because without that I feel like there's a huge gaping hole of where do I get the support, where do I get the extra help beyond my classes, and making this college the best fit for me. So those are things that I'm hoping to gain from this, and I think in just my experience at St. Thomas in general of getting a really good feel about how I can apply everything that I'm learning to the real world in my present job, and hopefully in a job in leadership and student affairs in the future. So thanks for listening. I know I tend to ramble, but I hope that you got everything that you wanted from this introduction, and I guess I'll say bye. Bye.